Sorry everyone on YouTube, I completely forgot to take my mute button off again, but hopefully you can hear me now. Sorry. Just to recap, I'm quickly replicating something from Pokemon. So I've started by drawing a box over here, which we're going to use as our background. We're going to change that. I automatically kind of go for a navy blue. It's just a nice colour for me. We'll send that to the back. We've already brought our logo in. I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller to start with. And the idea here is you're going to hover over the Pokemon logo and some little characters are going to pop up from underneath, and then when you hover off they're going to disappear again. So we've got that one, let's pop him in the middle. And then I'm actually going to make a new layer to get the effect that I want. I'll call that one pop up. And we're going to get rid of those little ones, add a trigger, show layer, pop up when mouse hovers over, picture one, but we don't want it to hide when the user hovers out. We're going to use a different method to get it to hide again. So then pop up, I want to take our Pokemon logo, and when you hover over it I want it to be slightly bigger. And we're also going to take that blue background and pop that behind as well. So I'm just going to take all the buttons off of the player. So let's preview this and see what happens so far. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted it to do. It hasn't, it popped up ever so slightly bigger, but it hasn't gone down again because we don't have the trigger to get rid of this layer yet. So we're on our pop-up layer. It could possibly go a little bit bigger. One thing I would like Storyline to do is where you've got your effects, your animations, and we've got things like grow and wheel, I'd like to be able to control the grow. So instead of it growing from nothing, I'd like to kind of just make it pop slightly bigger, kind of like a heartbeat, and go back again. I think that would be really awesome to have slightly more control over those sorts of effects. So now let's insert. Oh, I should say, this morning at breakfast I asked the kids, we got two kids, Oscar and Ava, I said, Mummy's doing a live stream today, Pokemon's a winner, what Pokemon shall I use? And immediately our daughter came running in and gave me this little dude. This is Charmander, I believe, and my son kind of went through all of his Pokemon cards, and it's a complete mess in his bedroom now, and pulled this dude out called Absol. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of him. I don't know an awful lot about Pokemon, but I think that's quite a new one. Certainly not one of the cute little ones I remember. So I'm going to use both of those guys. So let's go back to insert a picture, and we've got Charmander and Absol and Squirtle, Pikachu. Which one should we use? Any preferences? Oh, no one's talking to me today. Squirtle, yay, Squirtle, okay. Oh, or maybe we'll have to use everybody. Hang on then. So let's just get these guys in. So the idea is they're all going to be hidden, and then they're just going to like roar from behind. Let's see if we can use them all. Well, I think Squirtle's got the win on that one. So I'm bringing each of them in, and then, although he looks really cute, doesn't he? Maybe we'll make him come in upside down. Or sideways. Not sure. And they're slightly too big at the moment. I'll just give them a little bit of a resize. And the idea is that they will appear from behind the logo here. So if I bring the logo in front of each of those dudes, you can see they just pop out a little bit. But I'm going to, if I kind of make them want to pop out, you could use the animation, fly in from bottom for each of these. I'll highlight both of them, fly in from bottom. And if we just preview this, you'll see the problem, if you haven't already thought about what it might be. So they just pop straight in and you can see them appear from behind the logo. We want that all completely covered. So to make that happen, and this is so much easier on a solid colour. If you've got an image, it sometimes gets a little bit tricky. But so now I'm going to create a shape which will literally cover the bottom of the Pokemon section so that they only appear when they get to the top of the logo. And I'm going to change this colour to match the background and get rid of the outline. Oh no, I gave it a white outline. Let's try that again. No outline. And then let's bring our logo to the front again. So we want to make sure the freeform shape that we just drew and the logo are above the little characters. So we'll preview this one. There you go, so they come up like that. It's okay so far, but what I want to do now is they come up maybe a little bit better. So we're not going to use the entrance animation, we're going to use a motion path instead to make them come up at different angles. And then also when you hover off of the Pokemon logo, they're going to go back down again, and then the Pokemon logo is going to shrink back to the slightly smaller size. So right now I'm going to hide each of those. Actually, I'm not going to hide the Pokemon logo because we still want to see where it comes in, but what I will do temporarily is I will change the transparency so I can still see what's going on beneath. So let's highlight all of these and get rid of the flying effect. I think the placement's a little bit weird for these as well, so let's transform him. Where's transform gone? Format, rotate, flip, horizontal. So let's get Squirtle to pop up over here, Charmander to go over this side, and this dude, I can't remember his name, Absol, is going to go here, maybe, right. So, animation, we're going to add a motion path, and straight off the bat it automatically goes down. So we want him to come in, say we want them all to come in from the centre, so they all start central and go whoop and straight up. So that is a nice one for him. We can leave, because automatically it will put the trigger in for move it along that motion path as soon as the timeline starts. Usually it's quite frustrating for me because I don't often use that trigger. It's usually when you click something or when something else happens first or when the timeline reaches a certain point. So always remember to delete those if you don't use them straight away. And let's go to Animation Painter and copy it onto each of those as well. And then for Absol, let's move him. He's going to come directly bottom to top. And then Charmander, we'll bring him here as well. Now the motion path, 2 seconds, I think that's okay. Okay, let's change our logo back to 100% transparency, or 0 rather, and let's preview that. I've done it again. I'm forever doing this back to front. And I've hidden obviously the bottom. Right, okay. Let's swap that around. So I actually want this one to go this way. So they actually all start down here, don't they? Oh dear me, what a mess this is. Oh, I'm glad it's not just me that does it. Nice to see someone else does too. So, motion path, let's change this. Motion path options, we want it to go up. Right. And, oops. So I'm getting nervous now, I'm clicking everything. Change this one to up and change this one to up as well. So, in this case, let's start them all down in the middle. And we know it's going to start on the green blob and then it's going to finish on the red blob. Yes, exactly. That's why I preview everything. Like every step I do, preview it. Because can you imagine like building something and then not previewing until the end, and so much is wrong and you just don't know where to start because you can't remember what bit you did where and what needs to happen next. Oh. So let's try that again. And how have we got? Right, we'll put that one back on as well. Okay, forget what just happened. This is the first time we're previewing this. Ta-da! So hover over. Yay, there they are. That's kind of cute. Maybe a little bit too slow. So to change the speed, change it to 1.5. Sorry, I didn't swap my keyboard over it, and I'm aware that it's really noisy when I type anything. Okay, so we've got our guys all coming out at the moment. So now we want them to come back down when you've hovered off the logo. So again, we are going to add motion path, align. This time it can come down. Yeah, this gets a bit. I find this really a really awkward way to figure stuff out, because it doesn't start where it finishes on the preview here. We need to change the motion path that we've got there to relative start point. So it will, when we trigger this one to come back down, it will start from where it last finished. Because if you don't click that, it will just kind of whiz off the page in some random area. Well, not a random area, from down here, and you won't even see it because it's hidden behind that blue shape that we created. So I'm just going to pop that one to where I think is about right. And we can click on the original one to see how long it is. That's 414 pixels. So we can do the same here. And then try and match the angle up as best we can. 414 again. Okay. And then let's go to, I'm actually going to hide this again so we can see our people. Right, we've done Squirtle. Let's do Charmander next. Add motion path, line down. Let's have a look at the original one, which was 350 pixels. Change this to 350. Did I say 350 or 360? 350. And then try and get it at a very similar angle to there. 350, and again we need to make sure we change it to relative start point. And he's done. And last but not least, we've got our Absol dude. He's kind of cool. He makes me think of a unicorn. Quite like that guy. 344. That one's simple because it's going straight down. 344, and again, relative start point. Okay, so like I said before about the triggers automatically creating themselves to start on timeline start, we actually want to delete those, the second lot where they're going to come back down again, and trigger them separately. So we could either just delete them and create brand new triggers, or we can adjust the triggers we've got. So for that reason, I think we will just adjust the triggers we've got. But now I am going to create another shape, and I'm going to change the color of it in a minute. So I'm literally just going to draw all the way around the Pokemon logo. Again, some of you might be like, well, there's a much easier way of doing that. But this is just the way I've taught myself to do it. Because we want to create an area where when the mouse hovers over and looking at it, we don't want to go right to the very edge. I'm going to create a line all the way across here, all the way down, and around the entire slide. Oop, like that. And then join it back up here. So if I colour that in so you can see what I've done, you'll see that all that area now is going to be a hover over. So it's going to be, if your mouse touches any of that green area, then it will trigger each of those little guys to go back down, and then we'll get the slide to close down. Is there a way to copy the motion path to each character, or do you have to do it separately for each? Well, I found that you can copy a few motion paths if you do Format Painter. Let's hide this one. Let's get Pikachu in here. So this guy, if we go to animations, you can see we've got the up and the down. If we go Animation Painter and click on Pikachu, you've got it there. But then, depending on how you want him to come in, you'll have to grab the ends and move all those bits around. And, oh, look at that, it did automatically put them in the triggers panel as well. So, yes, there is a way. Let's get rid of Pikachu. Sorry, dude. Right then, let's see if I can remember. Okay, so we've got our, I'm going to turn this into my invisible area. So it's technically still there and it registers if your mouse goes over it, but we're changing the transparency to 100% and we're going to get rid of the line. So it still becomes interactive. So now we want to, oh look at that, I didn't name any of my motion paths, which is really bad because you can get really confused if you have like more than one motion path. Normally I'd call them, like this one is return. Maybe I should do that now on all of them. Because I've worked with stuff where I've got like, I don't know, like 8 motion paths on one image and oh my goodness, it's a nightmare if you don't label them. What's it called? Return. So we've got move picture to along motion path 2 when timeline starts. So along return when, we're going to change this trigger here for each of them. So move picture to along return when mouse hovers over freeform 2. Okay, I'm going to change the name. No, that's not right. Freeform 1 is the base. Freeform 2, let's call this hide. And then let's go and find the other 2. Along return when mouse hovers over hide, and then oh no, that's Pikachu, we don't want him in there for a minute. Where's the last one? Along return, there he is. Move picture 5 along return when mouse hovers over hide. Okay, I think that's everything set up there for preview. Let's have another look. Okay, so hopefully now when I move my mouse off of the logo, they'll all go back down, hopefully. Yay! So the last little bit to do on that is to make the timeline, make the slide disappear when the timeline reaches a certain point, so that the logo pops back down to slightly smaller. Yay! Oh, I'm glad this is doing well. So, what's the best way to do this? Because if we set it to, I'm just thinking on the spot here, because if I set it to, say, if we put a marker in here, a cue point at 7 seconds, and we tell it to hide layer, this layer when timeline reaches cue point 1, then that's all well and good as long as the user is ready to come off of there. So another way, I'm just thinking to make this really work well, delete that cue point, I'm going to create another layer set called close, which I'm going to change the settings on this one. I don't want it to hide other layers because if this layer pops up, it's going to automatically wipe out this layer. So now we're going to say we don't want to hide this layer, get rid of that. Show layer close when the mouse hovers over hide, untick that one because we're triggering it ourselves. And now, so it took how many seconds for these guys to go back down their return path? 2 seconds. So if we put a marker here at 2.5 seconds, now we're going to say hide layer, this layer when timeline reaches cue point 1, and also we can copy and paste that, hide layer pop up when timeline reaches there as well. Hopefully this should now work. Pop, and here they come, mouse out, away they go, and it pops back. So that's kind of the effect I was going for, and that is how I would build the Pokemon pop-up logo. Oh, hang on. I've seen some weird stuff. Let's give it a minute. So hover over. Do we need to restart when visiting? Reset to initial state. Let's see if that does anything. I'm always finding little blips like this, and they frustrate me so much, so I always have to try and fix them. Then we hover out, give it a second to pop back. Now it does it again. Anyone know why that's happening? No. Right, so move timeline. Yeah, move that one line along for me when the timeline starts. Oh, I think I know why. It's because these original motion paths also need to have the relative start point on, because else they're doing this motion from finishing down here, which is why we're not even seeing it happen. If that makes sense to anybody. So let's just try this again. Relative start point. Fingers crossed. This time it works. Okay, the guys come up. They go down. Disappears. And then... oh, no, it's still not working. So as you can see, things don't always go to plan. Move picture when timeline starts. Show this layer. Show layer close. Right, rather than waste any more time on that, you can see roughly what I was trying to do there. So let's go on to something slightly different. Let's get rid of all of these bits. Get rid of pop up and close. So the other thing I thought might be cool to do is to replicate one of these cards. So to take inspiration from this, oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys still like it, even though it didn't work 100%. So I will literally build this from scratch. I can see it's got a rounded corner for the cards. And let's just colour pick from our reference material. And we can copy and paste that. Make it slightly smaller. Right, let's get rid of the outlines. And then colour fill this. This is kind of like a really cool pattern. I'm not sure what it is, some like dark lava or something. But let's actually go for gradient on that one, just to give it a bit more depth. That's cool. And we'll align these guys. And then let's pop in a quick text box. We're not going to do Absol, we're going to do Charmander. Because my idea for this one, I was thinking about it like, oh my goodness, what else can I do? Is to make it so that he evolves. Because if you know anything about Pokemon, you know that after so many points or after so many wins of a Pokemon battle, they evolve into a bigger, better creature than what they were. Not so cute though, but they get stronger and more powerful. So I thought Charmander would be a cool one to do here. Let's insert another shape. I'm a big fan of rounded corners. I don't know why. I just think they look that little bit nicer. I'm going to fill this one like this, and we will put an outline on this one, a slightly darker one perhaps, and let's thicken up the border, maybe not so dark, to kind of give a kind of a metal effect. And let's go and insert our Charmander again, but a super teeny tiny one. We can make the background of there a nice pale blue. Ooh, maybe not that pale blue. Oh my. Let's just steal that one for a second. Okay. Copy this. So I don't know the actual points value of this guy, but we're going to say we'll put him at 50, and then when we've made him evolve, we'll turn him into like a points of 500, just so you know he's a little bit more powerful. Copy and paste that one as well, because I think that said, is it PS on there? Oh no, HP, hit points. Silly me. HP. Let's shrink that down. Oh, so I've just realised the reference piece I've got is not even in English. I don't think that's... Oh, it might be Portuguese actually, which is why I ended up with it on my search. So what can we say about Charmander? Skills. Does anyone know anything about Charmander? Failing that, I'm just going to say he's super cute. Yes, he is definitely cute. Super cute. Little bit fiery. Flamethrower. Nice, nice. We'll put that under, like, is that a skills or abilities, or is that the same thing? What's that, like, personality and skills. We've got flamethrower. Let's just shrink that down a little bit. Keep everything centrally aligned. Okay. Oops. Yeah, this is just like a very simple kind of version of what we've got there. I'm not sure what these bits are. Oh, thank you. I mean, normally if I was replicating something, I would take a lot longer and really find the pieces or make them in Illustrator. But I just thought it might be interesting to see what I can do straight from Storyline without having to use Illustrator for this one. The pre-made gradients are quite cool sometimes. Shape outline. I do like a bit of a shadow as well. We'll animate all this as well in a minute, and then I'll show you the reason we're making this card as well. Give it a little bit more animation in a sec. That's a bit too big. Yeah, if I were to spend a bit more time on this, I would find a background that's very similar to that card with the mottly kind of lava, green lava, I'm not sure what that is, or leaves, could be. Effect, find a nice background for Charmander himself there. And let's grab something that looks the right sort of size. And let's see what it says here. Weakness ×2 and resistance -20. Ooh. Weakness ×2. Now I'm not sure where you'd actually use this in like a storyline build other than a just for fun one. But I love just doing stuff like this just to see what else I can create, because you don't realise what you can do in storyline until you kind of left your own devices and you can work outside the box and just give it a go. And then you can sometimes find that actually you can use some of the things you've learnt in other work, which is really cool. Oh, it's got like a little circle as well, isn't it? It's a shape. Circle. That's not a circle. Shape fill. I'm going to be lazy and use the spacebar. Don't normally do this. And I don't recommend it, just in case your typeface changes or something. Okay, let's copy that one. Actually, let's put that to the left. And duplicate that one as well. And what's that, resistance? Oh, here's where my spelling comes in. R-E-S-A, resistance. And that is -20. And his little blob is like a purple colour. And just colour pick that again. From there. Let's align those to the bottom. and shimmy that blob all the way across. Yeah, and storyline keep bringing in, like, every so often there's something new, and I'm like, oh, how does this work then? But I think, like I said in the last one of these that I did, I don't actually know the basics of storyline. I just know the stuff that I've wanted to learn how to do. So, for instance, if I want to know, oh, how do I make a motion path do this and then do that when you click, I will literally just Google that bit of text. But if you say to me, oh, how do you use, where is it up here? How do you use the colour palette, the themes up here? I actually don't really use those. Well, I never use them, but I know that they are a massive help. But I've just never had the time to learn them, and I kind of feel now that I'm so far gone. If I try and learn that, I'll just mess up my whole way of working. Again, not the only one. Yes. Right, revision resistance. How can I be updated with anything new in storyline? Like the best way to be informed. They, if you have a license, I've got a Storyline 360 license. I don't know how that actually differs from a storyline license, but I just get emails sent to me, so it must be on the preferences maybe. But they do have a page as well that tells you when you update, and also if you load up, what's it, Articulate 360. I'll just bring this up a sec. This one here, you can see what's new, and then they take you to a page and they just say what's just come out in the most recent update, which is, I'll always look at what's new before I hit install or update, just in case it messes everything up, because I've had that before. It's been horrible when you've been working on this massive piece of work and you've been on it for months, and then there's a new update, like, oh brilliant, that might fix all the little issues I've been having, and then you update and it just screws everything up. But fortunately nowadays you can backdate as well, which is a huge help. Right, so let's just try and get this dude finished very quickly so we can move on to the next stage. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with that. I'm going to Control G and group all these bits, and I'm going to, what should we have as well? Let's take all of that except for the one we just grouped, and except for Charmander there. Actually, let's just take the two boxes, group those, and I want to take all the text as well and group all of that. So I want the card, I think, just to come flying in from the side, and then the text to fade in, and then Charmander can just zoom in, and we'll bring in the weakness and resistance band that can fly in from the side as well. So animations, we've got our background selected. We're going to fly in from the right. 0.75 is a bit fast, so let's change it to 1.5. And then let's grab all the text, make sure that is a text, yep. And we're going to fade that, and I'm going to shift it along the timeline just a little bit. And then this bar we're going to fly in from the left. Actually, let's make it fade in. No, we're going to make it fly in, because what I'm going to do there is the same thing we did before. Let's just make all of this center. If I group all that and then align it to the center of the page, and then if I ungroup it again, now I know that everything's perfectly central. I'm going to add another square here, right to, say, about here. And let's make it the same as the background and get rid of the line. So now I'm going to bring this one, and we're going to make it fly in from the left. Now when it comes in, you won't see it coming all the way from the edge of the slide. It will just kind of appear partway through and just kind of fade onto the screen in front of the card, hopefully. And let's try making Charmander do a cute little zoom. Like this. So let's just preview this and see what we've got. Yep, obviously forgot a bit there. We didn't do the background either. So that one can fade in with Charmander as well. Did anything else go a bit strange then? Got that one. Actually, let's make this fade in from the bottom, flying from the bottom. I don't like to use too many effects because it's kind of a bit much, so this might be too much going on. Timing's a little off. Let's change that to there, to there, to there. Group 2, group 1. Again, this is where it's helpful to label everything. So many times I'm using the little eye to show and hide things. That's a bit better, but Charmander's quite slow, so let's speed him up a bit. Let's put him back to 75. Okay, so now what's going to happen is when we hover over Charmander, we're going to see him evolve. And I found a little animated GIF, again, just from online, a random website. And I'm going to call this hover, and we're going to insert our picture, which I have got ready. Oh, no, we're not. Where is it? Hang on a second. I've lost it somewhere. That's not good. But we're also going to put some sound on this as well, and I'm pretty sure I've set this one up for this stream today so that you can hear my page as well. Sorry, 2 seconds while I find the animated GIF that I found. Yeah, why is that not there then? Char evolve. Charmander. Nope, okay, can't use that one. Right, let's see if we can find another Charmander. I think Giphy is a good place to go. What software? Literally just Storyline today. Articulate Storyline we're using. Charmander evolve. That one might do it. Not quite the one I had in mind, but let's just snaffle this one. So find what you want, right click, save image as, and we'll pop him in there. Yep, there will be a recording both on my tutorial site and also on Devlin's site as well. There's a recording after we finished, I believe. Right, let's pop. There we go. There's the one we want. Oh, it's a little bit small. Okay, let's try and crop it. Sometimes when you mess about with GIFs too much, they just do not like it, and they go a little bit strange. So we'll have to see if this works or not. Okay. So again, we're going to set up a trigger, show layer, hover when mouse hovers over, pitch it to. If I'd have named that properly, it would have said Charmander, and untick that one. So that is going to pop up. Now, do we want it just to appear, or do we want it to fade? We probably want it to fade in, but with a fast fade. And I'm not sure about the edges here. See, we've got this here that says dim. I don't normally work with it dimmed. I like to see things full colour. So we could do that. Or what we could do is we could take this background and we could place it behind here and get rid of all the animation on it and make this one slightly smaller, slightly bigger, and see if we can kind of get away with making it look a little bit nicer. And we are also going to take this shape that we've created and put it here, and put it behind these guys. Again, take away the animation if there is any, which there isn't because the animation was on the group. And let's take all this text, and so both of these groups we're going to take as well, and we're going to move them up the timeline here, timeline, and get rid of that. And what does Charmander become when he evolves? Is it Charizard? Charmeleon. Oh god, it's so silly anyway. I'm gonna have to see how you guys have spelled that. Charmeleon. And how many hit points shall he have? Did we say 500 or is that too much? 75, okay. 75. Ooh, 80. Ooh. Okay then, next one. How is his personality going to change? So he was super cute and a little bit fiery, not so cute, a bit grumpy like a teenager. Snarky, I like that. Not so cute. Monty Python bunny style. I don't know if that's me showing my age, but I don't know what that is. I know Monty Python, but what's bunny style? Feisty. Not so cute, snarky, and is he actually cuter? Wait, I'm gonna have to Google this. What's he called? Charizard? No, Charmeleon. Goodness. Charmeleon. Oh, he is still quite cute, isn't he? Yeah, look at that. Is that right? Oh yeah. Oh no, he's just not as cute as the original though. No. Not so cute, snarky, and feisty. And then skills. Does anyone know what skills evolves for him? Classic scene where White Bunny kills some soldiers that tried to kill it. Ooh. I'm going to stick with the cute one for now. But I will have to look up the Monty Python one there. Flamethrower. Blaze, thank you. Blaze. Is it like just blaze or is it like a blaze rocket? I'm just thinking what else I can add in to make up some random stuff. I'm gonna call it blaze rocket. I'm sorry if that's wrong. Just to fill up the area. Right, his weakness is gonna change. ×1 and resistance -20. Oh, he must have a better resistance now, I'm guessing. So should we change that to +10 maybe? So the idea now is that when you hover over him, like this, I don't like that background, we need to do something about that in a minute. You hover over him and then this will changes, his name changes, and he kind of basically evolves on the spot. So fingers crossed, let's give this a preview and see what happens. There's our card, nice, you ready? Oh, okay. So yeah, that kind of worked. It's a bit too pow in your face, but then I do like the crossover a little bit. So other things I do from here would be to drop shadows. Again are one of my favourites. Shadow, you can give all these different effects, but you can't always see them. What I tend to do, if we zoom in a bit. Oh, to zoom in, I found out this completely by accident because I use Illustrator quite a lot. And to zoom on Illustrator, you press Control and plus and minus if you want to zoom in or zoom out. But on Storyline, if you press the, is it Control? Yeah, if you hold down the Control key, and depending on what mouse you use, I've got a button here that I roll, it's a wheel, and I can roll it up or roll it down. That will zoom in or out as long as I've got the Control button held down, and it makes life so much easier. So yeah, oh, and another thing I've got is this mouse. I'm actually changing it because I've just got, very excited, came in the post today, a new mouse with like 12 buttons on. But I've set this mouse up, it's got buttons on the side, I'm left-handed, and that's actually a left-handed mouse there, which is so exciting. I've set this up to copy and paste buttons, so instead of Control-C, Control-V all the time, I can literally select something, click my top button, and then hit my other button. It didn't work. Hit my top button. Oh, it's not working now. I tell you why, it's because my husband has made me change my buttons for a game we're playing. So normally it says Control and paste, but it's not working right now. Yay for the left-handers. Yeah, 12 buttons. I don't know what I'm going to do with those for work. Copy, paste. Where do I change the settings? That is in, because these are both, I've got a lot of Razor stuff if you haven't heard of it before. And it comes with its own program called Razor Synapse, and you can change all the key bindings and you can set profiles. So I've got one set up for work, which is supposed to be copy and paste, which is not working right now. And then, oh, I know why, it's because I've got my gaming profile on. And then I've got another setting for gaming, which I should have switched back to for this, not gaming, the work one. But yeah, so but for the 12 mouse buttons, I don't know what else I can do, like copy, paste, for work-wise, unless I set up like a whole strip of buttons so that I can, if I click slightly wrong, it still does what I want it to. Sorry, yeah, just going back to how I like to do my drop shadows. Shape effect, you've got shadow, and then if you go into shadow options, because I don't often like the black drop shadow, because I work with a lot of dark backgrounds, it's just, I just like them like that. And then you can kind of change things, manipulate things a lot more, and give it a really nice blur, and change the distance. Oops. And yeah, there you have it. Oh, should we just make these ones fade, see if it makes any difference to how it looks? Which will probably be a bit weird because we haven't got that green background fading. So we'll fade that as well. Now let's see what happens. Okay, it's a little bit better. But then we did see the crossover of the text, so maybe we want this one to fade a little bit quicker. The name of my YouTube channel is Pick and Mix Studios, I think. I'll have to check on that. There we go. And again, you could set a trigger up so when you hover out of here, it reverts back to the other, it hides this layer and puts it back onto the other one. Should we just do that now quickly? So I will go again and I will make a shape that looks like it's just basically drawing a box around here, but it's not, because I'm going to go all the way around the edge. Like this, and I will colour it in so you can see what it looks like. Oops, no. So then when the mouse hovers over this section, then it will go back to the other layer. And so we're going to change this, the transparency. You want to keep it at the solid fill so it's still, you can still interact with it. Line colour, no line. And quite often, because I use this method so much in anything I build, I will right click and I will set that as my default shape, so that every time I draw a square or a shape or then anything, as an example, there we go, and that's already got the 100% transparency, but it is still a fill. So hide layer, this layer, when mouse hovers over, freeform 1, and let's just make our hover layer reset to initial state when we come back. And let's test that one. And then, ta-da, there we go. And that is just a tiny little Pokemon demo. Has anyone got any questions? We've got like 10, just short of 10 minutes left. So if you have questions, then fire away and I will do what I can to answer them. And doesn't have to be related to the Pokemon one, anything else that you might have seen that you want to know anything about, or even ideas for the next one. I can do one next week, another live stream, but the week after I am away. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Oh, thank you. I was a bit worried this time because everyone seemed very quiet, and I was like, oh no, it's like, was my last one really bad? And I always panic. I get so nervous. As you can see, I think I'm incredibly red today. I don't know why. Let's have another look at this one. And of course, if you guys ever do anything like this, I want to see what you're doing. So definitely tag me. Maybe we should come up with like a hashtag. So anything you build, you put a specific hashtag. So then we can just click the hashtag and then everyone can just see everything that was been coming out of these sessions. That would be really cool. Can you show the trigger to hide the Pokemons when you're going off the logo? Yes. Did that just work then? Hang on, I'm just going to leave it a second or two. Oh, no, forget that. So when we are back over here to hide, right, so what we did is, I will give it a full color again. We created another invisible box or invisible shape, and then set the transparency to 100%, and then we're telling it to show the closed layer. We need the extra layer there because otherwise we're not going to get the effect of the little guys coming back down again. It's just going to hide the layer too quickly. So then when we get to the closed layer, we set up a trigger here to hide the layer, this layer and the pop-up layer when the timeline reaches let's change it to 2.1, I think that is, because that gives, where are they? That gives these guys, oh no, where are they? That gives these guys time to get back down behind the logo before all the layers disappear. So here they come, and there they go. I want to test it again, but I know it's not going to work. Damn it. So I need to figure out why that's doing that. So yeah, any more questions? Are you making those storyline files available? I am not, simply because this is all kind of just grabbed off the internet and I don't know really, I don't know if I'm supposed to be using it. So I don't want to go giving things away. Sorry, but if you go to, I will show you how to find everything. I literally just grabbed a load of stuff off the internet, animated GIFs and whatnot. So I will go to Giphy. This is a brilliant site to get things from. So just type in, for instance, we've got Pokemon here. So these guys all have images with backgrounds. If you go here to stickers, you'll find, oh, I should have seen this. That would have been a really good one to do with Pikachu, wouldn't it? Do you know, if I've got 5 minutes, I might quickly try and do it now. Let's save that image as Pikachu, because we didn't actually do anything with Pikachu. So you've got Giphy there, and then I will just go onto Google. Oh, I see what you mean, to analyse the triggers. Interesting. I will have to check on that one and let you guys know if I am allowed to post anything like that. What's I looking for here? Pokemon. If you type in transparent PNG, and it will just come up with loads of images, and you can literally find them. If they've got backgrounds like this, generally speaking, then they will be transparent, so you can put them over anything and there'll be a nice clean cut out the back of them. So let's have a look at that. Oh, I got 4 minutes. Let's quickly put Pikachu in here. Insert picture. Oh no. Let's see if we can. Oh, where'd he go? Oh, okay. So we're going to use this one, and then I don't know what to title anything, so I'm just going to do it now. Oh no, he's on the wrong slide. On the wrong layer. So then we're going to put in our little animated Pikachu here. Let's just see what happens if, oh, and I also want to take the background. There's other ways of doing this. You can hide, this is just like a super fast way. I don't know if it's cheating to do it this way, because you can do it the way I'm doing it here. I just quickly show layer, cute when hovers over, and we will leave that button ticked. So let's see what happens. Yay, but I've got an outline there, that's no good. So you've got that, but then you could also get rid of that outline. You could tell this one to change state of, what this one is called is picture 2 to hidden when mouse hovers over picture 2, and then restore it when the mouse hovers out again, which means I think we should not need this background. There you go. And it's a bit cleaner then. So there you have it. And I have 2 minutes left. Have we had any suggestions for next week's live stream? No. Well, I had the other ones that I put on for voting, but I might do a completely new set. I'm not sure. Anything that away from gaming anyone can think of? Any TV shows that might be interesting? Motion Path board game? Seinfeld or Curve? Oh my goodness, I don't know what these are. Jeopardy? Ah, I know about Jeopardy because that is the same thing. We call it Wheel of Fortune, I think. I say we call it. In the UK, we called it Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if they have one here in Portugal. Motion Path board game. I've actually got a tutorial that I'm going to be releasing the week after next, which is kind of a workshop which people might be interested in, which teaches you how to make this complete maze game. Oh yeah, I'm so glad you guys are still learning from me. I am worried that I'm going to do like 3 of these and run out of things to kind of talk about. So I might just kind of be replicating the same thing over and over again, just with different like games or something. You guys are very welcome, and thank you for coming. Clue, what's Clue? You're welcome. I'm gonna have to a board game. I'm gonna have to be. Oh, Clue. Yes, I know that. We call it Cluedo. That's one that it was Mrs. Peacock in the library with the dagger. Am I right? Stranger Things. Yes, that would be awesome. Yes, I do know Clue. Okay. Well, where am I? Let me put myself like this and try and be a bit more professional, since I went to the effort of making all these background screens. Yeah, thank you again, guys. I will be back next week on Wednesday. And yeah, thank you. And I will find out, I think Mohammed, I think you were asking, weren't you? I will be back and I will find out if I'm allowed to share the files. But if not, maybe I will just kind of recreate something with just circles, and then you can just download that and play with it as much as you like, with the same effect, and then swap out the circles for the actual images. Okay? Right, everybody have a good day, and see you next week. Bye!